Well, it took you long enough. Wonder when you were going to show up at this place. What was your slogan again? Reunite the nation. Crush the traitorous remnants. Huh? I have to say, you've gotten really good at rallying a crowd. Don't look too surprised. It may have been some time since we last met, but that doesn't mean I went and died in a ditch. Nonetheless, it looks like you've been doing well enough. Even gained yourself the mark of the king, and the strength that comes with it. That's why you're here, isn't it? To claim this hallowed ground and ascend as this land's ruler, right? So, tell me, what did it take? Don't play games. You know exactly what I mean. How many innocents did you draw into your manipulative crusade? How many nights have the streets run with the blood of those your followers proclaimed as undesirables? It was all in service to the cause. You've been saying that ever since we parted ways. I wonder how many others shared the same thoughts, that if their cause was blessed by some authority, that any and every sacrifice would be permissible. How many other dictators and tyrants have come and gone, using the exact same logic, as if their ideals were any more righteous than the ones that came before? You seem to be perplexed as to where I've been this whole time. So much for trying to get through to you. I've been busy undoing all the atrocities you and your zealots have wrought. Originally, they seemed to be only attacking truly vile individuals, so I couldn't do or say anything when this madness first started. However, in the past few years, more and more innocents have been caught up in the fray. The heinous crimes you empowered your followers to seek and snuff out, well, those are the very things they are now guilty of. Do you want to know what I saw? I saw men, women, and children alike, beaten, disfigured, humiliated, and dragged through the streets while your people cheered, as if they had just cast out some kind of demonic being. The biggest irony was that your campaign's purpose was to expose and drive out such people in the first place, when in fact, all it's done has allowed even more dangerous people to assume power. There's really nothing left of your old self, is there? You used to be someone I strived to be more like. You stood up for people, the ones that had no one to protect them. You gave them a voice, something to band together and rally behind. You were courageous yet kind. But you always carried that fear of being ostracized. That fear got the best of you in the end, didn't it? You were so afraid of the people turning on you, to be subjected to the witch hunts and mobs you yourself encouraged, that you gave in. Instead of speaking your own mind, you parroted their demands. You let their hate drive your hand, their gluttony for watching their victims suffer. It pushed you ever more into insanity, something that they disguised as some form of admirable self-sacrifice, all to further their selfish ends. You were so afraid to fall for anything, and you latched onto the first ideology that passed your way, no matter how irrevocably flawed it was. Now, you've become brainwashed by that very thing, believing yourself to be some kind of pariah. I should have known. I should have been a better friend back then. Don't say another word. Quit giving me that load of bullshit. Truth? Justice? The only thing you've done is twist those words to your own ends. Your truth? Their justice? All I see are self-righteous excuses to dispense punishment as you see fit. To suit whatever fucked up reality you think is ideal. The sweet lies you spread that detach people further and further from reality need to be silenced. The kangaroo courts your followers set up need to be destroyed. The only people that benefit in your world is yourself and those that create and enforce your dogmatic draconian laws. Your utopia spits in the face of everything everyone in the history of mankind sacrificed to get to this point. In the short time you've held any sort of power, countless lives have been lost or irreversibly changed. Families have been torn apart and turned against each other. Free thinkers are now forever cowering in the corners of society, while fanatics and criminals are rewarded and allowed to walk freely in the streets. But from the look on your face, you don't care now, do you? No. As long as you can cower under that guise of moral superiority, any and every action is permissible and just in your eyes, isn't it? If no one else is going to stop you, then I will. How? Because you're not the only one who has earned the king's mark. Doesn't matter though. Even without it, I'd still be here right now. I might have used to side with your cause, but now you have left me no choice but to stand in your path. I wished it didn't have to come to this. But someone has to stop you. You've become blinded and deafened by the worship of your narrow-minded followers, drunk on the self-affirmation their joyous cries bring you. Meanwhile, the screams of those truly suffering and in need go unheard, or are silenced by your inquisitors. Your movement, your crusade, it's grown too strong to be stopped at the limbs. For any form of peace, equality, and justice to return to this land, its head needs to be removed. You may not see yourself as a tyrant, but I'm fairly sure none that ever lived ever did. Believe me, from where I stand, you are the exact definition. That's why I need to bring your life to an end. You're beyond saving, but that doesn't mean your death won't save countless others. What happens to me, whether I'm seen as a savior or a destroyer, means nothing. In the end, if you and your zealots are remembered as heroes or some kind of righteous warriors, then I'll proudly be the villain in this chapter of history. As for the king's power, I'll do the very thing that should have been done many years ago. I'll destroy it. After that, maybe reconciliation, common sense, and goddamn respect may prevail again. Not this delusional, one-sided, deceitful untruth. The words of the people need to be heard. Every single one, no matter how small or contradictory to popular opinion. What you have done is force people to be silent, while your followers preach whatever they please, no matter how destructive their words are. Let me ask you this. What good does any of the supposed virtues you spout accomplish if all it does is leave everyone at each other's throats and destroys any common ground we all had? Absolutely nothing. Seeing each other as equals, in spite of the many differences we all have, that's the only way we'll ever start moving forward again. Your reign will only ensure that hope never sees the light of day, and will only welcome our destruction. In the end, all you've become is a wolf in sheep's clothing, aiming to lead us all to the slaughter. Now, ready your guard, old friend. It's time for fate to decide. Whose ideals triumph? Yours or mine?